Welcome back to Blurmatic. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, returning subscribers. Thank you so much for returning and supporting. New subscribers, welcome to the channel. Let's get right into this. So today's new episode review, one of my favorite shows, man. It is impressive. I like it as much as I like Mandalorian and Boba Fett. And what show am I talking about? Episode 3 review on Obi Wan. And yes, it's episode 3. I know. I don't know why they stuck with the plain names for the episode's parts. But let's get right into it. So in this episode, we see Obi Wan in the cargo ship in a state of meditation. And him like kind of processing what's really going on here. I think he's still shell-shocked that he found out that Anakin's still alive. Reva, you hear her voice. You hear him mention Qui-Gon a little bit. So in this episode, we pretty much see Obi-Wan just trying to clear his mind. You know what I'm saying? Or also known as Ben. Also in this episode, we see the first time of literally Darth Vader. Yes. Let's talk about that right now. So while Obi-Wan's meditating, we see Darth Vader get into the costume. We see the villain become the iconic villain that we've known for Star Wars, and him outside this tank. I think this tank is the way for him to heal his body. We see him eventually get the stuff off of him and everything. We see him with the iconic helmet, Darth Vader, the actual suit and everything, and just him becoming Darth Vader. I love his entrance and how he's on this volcanic planet from episode 3. But also we see Darth Vader give orders. And who is he giving orders to? Reva, also known as the third sister. And pretty much he's telling her like, yo, this is what you're gonna do. And pretty much, you know, he's giving her opportunity too, by the way. Also in this episode, let's get right into the next part of this episode, is we see them arriving to the planet. It's a mining planet that they're on, that Obi-Wan and Leia are on. But the problem is, once they get to the planet, it's a mining planet, but it's owned by the Empire. Yes, so this planet is full of stormtroopers and people that are into that ideology. So they come across this guy called Frank. He looks like a freaking mole-like looking alien. And literally, Frank gives them a ride. But what Obi-Wan and Princess Leia don't expect is that the stormtroopers are going to come on. So Obi-Wan's a little paranoid, okay? Also, I love the scene in this episode where Obi-Wan freaking sees Anakin. It's like he's hallucinating. I think that's his biggest downfall. Him thinking that his apprentice betraying him would do that to him and kind of stab him in the back. Also, we see pretty much Obi-Wan having to play it off. Like he's telling Princess Leia, like, we're farmers. You know, you're my daughter. You know, I'm the what's name, pretty much your father. And pretty much, you know, the mother, they give the mother alias, like, oh, that's her mother, telling stormtroopers that and everything. Also in this episode, we see that Leia knows that Obi-Wan knows who her real parents are. I mean, she's a very, I guess you could say, intellectual young lady, you know what I'm saying? And with the Force probably being in her as well, she's figuring out things, you know what I'm saying? We see her being this kid that's asking all these questions, and she's becoming a little bit more aware of it. I did love the moment in here. I was like, oh, I said, poor Princess Leia. She's like, you sure you're not my daddy? And you could see Obi-Wan said, no, I'm not your dad. You know what I'm saying? I said, oh, Princess Leia want his daddy. You know what I'm saying? And it's so sad because you can see him, he wants to tell her who her father is, but he know that wouldn't do any justice if she really found out that her father is the person that's hunting them down, pretty much. Also in this episode, let's talk about the hierarchy of the Sith Inquisitors. So we all know that the Sith Inquisitors are the top echelon Sith people that were chosen by pretty much probably Darth Vader. But let's talk about the hierarchy. ever since the Grand Inquisitor was killed by pretty much the third sister, there's been a power struggle. So we got fifth brother that's like, yo, you know what I'm saying, Reva, you capping, you not getting that seat. I am the one that's supposed to get the seat, not you. So there's a bit of a hierarchy issue with the Sith Inquisitors. It seems like the fifth brother and the third sister do not get along. There's another Inquisitor that kind of brings the pretty much the robot to track out to see if Obi-Wan and Princess Leia are on that mining planet. But she doesn't seem to be as much of one of the people that's like, yo, I want the position as the Grand Inquisitor. And the reason we know that Reva wants it because that's, you know, that was her thing. She pretty much killed the Grand Inquisitor to probably get the next rank for a position as a hierarchy of the Sith Inquisitors. So I do love in this episode that we learn about their positions. So I'm assuming from the list of it, Reva is a higher class than fifth brother. Then again, I could be wrong, guys, because this is definitely something I'm still learning about. So forgive me if I'm wrong. But I think that's how it goes. It seems like she's the one that's like the next in line, and he's kind of like the low bottom. You know, he's at the low end of the totem pole when it comes to the hierarchy of the Sith Inquisitors. So I do like that we learn about them a little bit more. And I like the conflict between Reva and the fifth brother, also known as the third Sith. You know, he like, you ain't sitting in that chair. He used the force. Like, I'm like, oh no, So also in this episode goes back to pretty much Obi-Wan and them pretty much making it to the next checkpoint after they took out the stormtroopers with Princess Leia. But also we come across the fake Jedi's other ally. She's with the stormtroopers. She's like one of these commanders, pretty much. She takes out the other stormtroopers, and she says, "Hey, why weren't you at the checkpoint?" Pretty much because literally she was probably at the checkpoint waiting on him to get off the cargo ship. Him and Princess Leia were nowhere to be found. But let's get into the next part of this episode. Ooh-wee! So pretty much they make it to the actual place, I guess you could say like where residents are living, and they find a secret place to hide. So when the Sith Inquisitors and the Stormtroopers arrive, they won't be able to be found. This place is some place where Qui-Gon used to be at in the past. And we also know that Obi-Wan, also known as Ben, Ben also finds out about the person Tala, I meant to say, is the person that was the fake commander. She's like, oh yeah, I knew, you know what I'm saying, I knew Qui-Gon, you know what I'm saying, so there's a connection between them due to his previous mentor being killed. Like, literally, they knew each other and stuff like that, and she's like, oh, Obi-Wan, bruh still calling himself Ben. He's still calling himself Ben, like, yo, Obi-Wan is old me. Ben is the new me. Nah, bruh, you ain't, that's not happening. But also what I like in this episode is the introduction to Darth Vader. And I love how Darth Vader comes to town. It's nighttime now. And literally, he's just like finding people to torture. Each time, he's finding, the first one was a man, then there was a woman, there was another guy. He's just using the force. He's like, He even popped one, cracked the other person's neck and killed them. It sounds like, whoa. And I think he knew that pretty much that his former master was there. He was just trolling them pretty much. He's like, look, these citizens don't mean crap to me, bruh. I got my Sith Inquisitors out here. I got my Stormtroopers, bruh. It's just you and the princess and the other person that's a fake commander. Like, what you gonna do about that? And we see that, and we see pretty much Princess Leia going with the lady and stuff, and Obi-Wan eventually coming out of hiding, and we see them duke it out with the lightsabers. I say, oh, about time. I mean, I got tired of him shooting guns. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, is Obi-Wan just gonna keep shooting guns? I thought he was a Jedi, right? I was like, wait a minute, bruh. But I did like that aspect of it. So we see them fight, and we see Obi-Wan's afraid. We can see him being terrified a Darth Vader. And I mean, Darth Vader got the advantage this time around. We see him get away from Darth Vader, but Darth Vader eventually gets the Force grab up a hold to him, and pretty much he sets this like area up on fire. It looks like gasoline, and then he does Obi-Wan the same way he doing, like, hey, look, you made me into this, I'm gonna do the same thing to you. And I said, oh my god. Then in this episode, we see pretty much Princess Leia said, hey, look, she's telling Tala, she's like, hey, he's gonna need your help. I need you to go see about him. And I love how she has connected with Obi-Wan, despite their differences and some of the secrets he's hiding from her. Of course, like, he doesn't want her to know her father is this villain, well, you know what I'm saying, or this bad person. And she eventually, lets Layla go to the other part of the hiding place. She goes to rescue Obi Wan Kenobi. And luckily, she was able to make a diversion for him so Darth Vader wouldn't kill him. And I love how she took out a couple of the stormtroopers and then set the fire to be a little bit more intense. Darth Vader is like, okay, ain't nowhere getting away from it. Also, we see Reva, also known as Third Sister, figuring out where Princess Leia and also where Obi-Wan were hiding. And she eventually outsmarts Princess Leia, and she kills the other person that was supposed to be helping out Princess Leia. Also, I forgot to mention the fake commander helped Obi-Wan. Now she has to send him to another planet because he's severely burnt from the fire that Darth Vader put him in. And we see, like, pretty much Leia about to get captured by Reva. I gotta say, this was an interesting episode. We saw that even there's issues with the hierarchy in this episode. We see Obi-Wan facing his fears, fighting pretty much Anakin. I think with this episode, we see that the stormtroopers, like I said, that planet was pretty much Empire territory. I did like that. It gets better each episode. Like, I can't lie. Like, this is a thumbs up for me. But this is your boy, Ill Blurred. Man, guys, have you seen the latest episode of Obi Wan Kenobi? You tell me in comments, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for supporting. You're not subscribed. What are you waiting for? Have a great Sunday. And I'm out. The saga continues. Oh, yeah. Thank you for support.